The Curse of Oak Island. X marks the spot for Ark of the Covenant at Nolan's Cross. The Curse of Oak Island has found 3 possible locations where the Ark of the Covenant may be buried at Nolan's Cross, and they've already started digging. Also on this week's Oak Island, another artifact further linked both the Vikings and Templar Knights to the island, and there was a major crisis at the Garden Shaft. Researcher John Edwards was back in the war room with 3 X marks the spot locations. He's convinced that Nolan's Cross is part of a larger monument made in the shape of an ancient Jewish and Christian symbol known as the tree. John identified 3 spots along the main axis of Nolan's Cross where he suspects the Ark of the Covenant may be buried. The locations were all on Tom Nolan's land, but he quickly suggested that the guys start digging in the area. Billy Gerhardt and Jack Begley wasted no time and soon found a large boulder near one of the spots on the north side of the swamp. The boulder had no natural reason to be there, having been clearly placed there by human hands. Billy and Jack decided they would need to consult geoscientist Ryan Spooner before going any further, which means we'll have to wait until at least next week to learn more. However, it was a fantastic start to examining John Edwards' work. Viking artifact found on Oak Island is linked to Templar Knights. Meanwhile, more evidence mounted of a 13th century collaboration between Templar Knights and Vikings to bury treasure on the island. Historian Doug Crowell has been examining a copper artifact found last year on Lot 8. The object in question had a metallic composition that suggested a Scandinavian origin, leading the guys to believe it was a decorative Viking plate. Doug has identified 2 symbols on the object that match symbols found on an ancient manuscript from Iceland. This manuscript was a Viking document related to astronomy and astrology. Incredibly, Doug said he'd found the same symbols on an astrolabe, a medieval device used to track the stars, sun, and moon, and was also used as a navigational tool. Doug claimed these devices were also used by the Templar Knights. The implication here is that both the Vikings and the Templars were using the same technology to navigate the globe. This news follows previous theories that the Templars and Vikings developed a relationship while on a crusade in Jerusalem in the 12th century that later led them to take ancient Christian relics to Oak Island. While on the island, the 2 groups built Nolan's Cross to act as a marker for their descendants to find the treasure. Have the team breached a flood tunnel at the Garden Shaft? Also on last night's show, the Dumas guys began horizontal drilling at 97 feet. They were hoping to follow the old tunnel toward the baby blob. However, the guys suddenly had to flee the shaft when a leak suddenly occurred, causing salty water to flow in at a terrific rate. The drill in 2 sets, levels of the shaft were quickly covered in water. This obviously brought work to a crashing halt, but it might not be all bad news. This could be a flood tunnel, which means the guys are actually close to the treasure. This is a problem that has plagued searchers for 200 years, but they didn't have the advanced technology the Legina brothers have at their disposal.